Hi, I'm Tori Quisling, founder of the Center for Clairvoyant and Psychic Development in Port Washington and online. I'm a clairvoyant practitioner and I've been doing this for over 33 years. I have classes in certification for clairvoyant practitioner. And so I'm here today to talk to healers who want to know some psychic tools that can help them. Let's see, just want to make sure my comments are on. So please be sure to make comments or ask questions as I go. Today's question that was posed to me from one of my clients who's a healer, or works as a healer, wanted to know why she takes on other people's energy. And she was actually feeling her boyfriend's energy, and he was in another part of the state. And she could feel the pain in his body from a distance. And she wondered, why does that happen? So, to understand ourselves as healers and how we protect ourselves, and know that that is a tendency that healers tend to have. In my school, the Center for Clairvoyant and Psychic Development, I have students who are spiritual seekers as well as proclaimed healers. They do Reiki and acupuncture and yoga and therapy, and they're nurses and doctors. So I have many that work as professional healers, but many who are just spiritual seekers. And the way that I train someone to first read or open up their clairvoyance to see what's going on, see the energy of something, is I make sure that they have a healing guide working with them. Because I know all my students are going to do what healers do. They're going to see first where somebody's struggling. So healers are people, even as children, who tend to notice where somebody is struggling and then immediately want to send their own energy to fix it. And sometimes as a child, we'll develop ourselves with an identity as a healer, thinking that people only love us and like us and want us to be around if we can help them solve their problems. Because a lot of these people realize how good you are. You make them feel better when you're around. When you're not around, they don't feel good. They might cling to you when they're feeling anxious, and you're there to support and love them no matter what. So healers are people who tend to just give away their energy. And then also in their bodies, a healer tends to get hot and sweaty because that's what we call the Kundalini healing energy turns on. Tend to be a bigger person because you're taking on so much energy and the body is handling other people's energy. The reason in this healing process a natural healer takes on energy is because they're matching the energy. So a healer is somebody that is intuitive, but also is an empath, feels what the other person is feeling, but also a very good medium. A healer is somebody that can send their energy to someone else and then also let that person's energy come into their body. So a medium is someone that can leave their body and channel energy both ways very easily. So good healers are good mediums as well. And unless you know what you're doing, like really know about it, have been trained in healing and knowing what this is about, we call it out of control. You tend to just do it and then you just feel the effects of it. So this tendency for a healer to match someone else's energy who's hurting and also just be attracted to somebody that's hurting and want to help um, causes you to take on the emotions of the other person long after they've left you or long after they feel better. So it's really good to recognize how healing works between people. There's an exchange. And an untrained healer is going to just hold on to that person's energy long after the exchange. So, and in the person's question, why am I feeling my boyfriend's pain or sickness 100 miles away? That's another thing we do is we form healing agreements between people. So we can start as a child, as we come in, as a child, we choose our parents and our family as a spirit baby. And we come in as a healing, maybe the healer, they called for someone to help. So you came in as a baby spirit to help. And then you created this agreement that says, I will heal you as long as you take care of me, are my family, you love me. So you set up a healing agreement to heal in order to receive love. And so we set up these agreements with people that are close to us in our family, and then who we enter into intimate relationships with. And so it's good to notice as a healer, what are your healing agreements with people? And also notice this idea that you're matching and pulling in energy in general. So something to understand to help you do something different than match energy is to recognize just what we all talk about, the law of attraction, and just laugh about it and just be amused. For ordinary people, people that aren't really tuned in as healers, the law of attraction is whatever you're putting out, you attract back. So if you're in a great mood, you're attracting other people in a great mood. If you're in a bad mood, maybe you'll attract some bad days or bad mood people or situations or conversations. So that's the law of attraction. What you're putting out is like a magnet. It attracts like, attracts like. But when you're a healer, you're somebody that has this special skill, especially mediumship and empathy. You are different. You are going to attract people that need what you're offering. So instead of you putting out a great vibration and getting great vibrations back, you're going to attract all the people that need people with great vibrations. You're like the light on the porch, and all the moths are coming in to get the light. And so just recognize that perhaps when you look at the people around you, those people around you that have started to need a lot of your energy and attention and drain you are there because they recognize your light and they need that from you. And so once you realize you're in a teaching position, you're in a place to guide and raise the vibration, not to give sympathy and empathy and just go along with everything they're complaining about. You recognize that you move from empathy or sympathy, just kind of agreeing with them and keeping them company in their pain and joining in and then feeling it with them and thinking it's you too. Recognize that you don't have these problems. They do. And that they're attracted to you because you have access to another level of healing, another level of being in the light. And we call that compassion. And so empathy and sympathy we call clairsentience. It's below your navel, second chakra. Compassion is up here in the heart. So you come up to the heart and it allows you to be in compassion. And when you are a healer who states that you have compassion rather than sympathy or empathy, it means that you say silently, I see, I understand what you're going through, because I've lived many lifetimes. How may I serve? And how may I serve is a prayer that you're offering up to the angels, to the Supreme Being, to all the higher powers and part of you, your own higher self, to find out what to do next. The person that needs the help isn't who you're asking what you can do. They don't know. So you say, I see, I understand, how may I serve? When you are around people that seem to drain you and seem to not change and seem to have problems all the time and bring you down. So you want to come up to your heart, have compassion. I see, I understand, how may I serve? And you're tuning in to your own level of service for this person. But the most important thing is to know that you're becoming a witness and a support for this person's change. You're not here to validate that they are a victim and that life sucks and that you feel the same way, because you will. You're a healer, so you're going to match. You're going to have empathy. You're going to connect that way. And so, hey, Amy, thanks for joining. So you're shifting just in your understanding as a healer. Just after this live talk today, you're going to understand that the people around you are not there because of the law of attraction, like attracting like. They're there because they see in you something they would like help with, and you are qualified to help them. And so instead of having sympathy and empathy for this person, maybe just I say a sand timer, turn it over and just say, poor you, I'm so sorry for you. And then pop out of it, come up here and say, oh, I see and I understand. Ask God, the angels, how may I serve this person best? And what you find out when you take clairvoyant development courses is that now you know what's next. And so instead of saying, I'm picking up and I'm sensing your pain and I'm getting it and carrying it away, we want to say, I'm noticing that you're in some pain right now. I notice that you have a pattern of always responding in a certain way. Here's what I see, and you offer a vision of something new. And that's what clairvoyant healing can do. It brings you up to the heart level of compassion, which is the first part. I see, here. And then it's I understand. I've lived in this world perhaps many lifetimes. So this is what's powerful. Oh, hi, Mindy. This is what's powerful. And then you say, how may I serve? And that's a prayer that you're offering up to assist this person. That becomes a powerful place to be as a healer. And it also allows you to stay separate and protect yourself, stay amused, knowing that everything is temporary and not to take things so seriously. When we take things seriously, it's like we fall into the paint, okay, as the painter. When we get amused, we can step back and see what's going on, unplug from the drama. So as a compassionate healer, you're learning to come up to your heart, say, I see, I understand. Now, how may I serve as a prayer? And that is going to help that person that may be down in the ditch, always stuck in something, drained and depleted, and you're up above. So now you're the equipped person to help them. And just to review, when you're a healer, the law of attraction, like attracts like, does not apply. When you're a healer, you are attracting people that need who you are. And so they may have problems, they may feel stuck, they may be in the dark. So to be a very powerful healer is not to be an empath and just match them, keep them company. It's to step back and have compassion for that person, and recognize that you have mediumship abilities and you do take on energy and you match energy, but that's only going to help you with your compassion to help them more. But recognize that they're attracted to you not because you have the same problems. You may feel like you do, but you actually are here because they need help with the problem. So you are getting the tools to step back, raise your vibration, remember who you are, and then help them. And that's what healers do. So we understand that also we want to think about healing agreements. The question today someone gave me is that they were feeling their new intimate relationship, their boyfriend, they were feeling their pain and sickness from 100 miles away. This is what I notice in my students as well when they start to do readings. Like I said, I don't let them just do a reading without having a healing guide, a special angel, a special guide that works with them to keep from them giving their energy away. So I notice that healers, really good ones, are mediums. So they will feel the energy of other people to actually bring them into their body, and they will leave their body and go to the other person's body and feel this. And when you have a healing agreement with somebody, that's an agreement that says, I'm in this relationship with you and you love me as long as I give you healings, make you feel better. So what I would advise the person that asked that question is to look at the healing agreement spiritually between each other and decide to change it, elevate it to I witness and support your growth as you witness and support mine. And we'll have a tendency to feel the other person's feelings, but as long as you recognize it and go, oh, that's not mine, that's his. Or let's say your arm starts hurting. You might think, oh, who am I going to meet with today? Oh, who am I thinking about? Who in my life has a bad arm? I remember my son hurt his wrist. He's a baseball player and hurt his wrist. And my wrist, he's a lefty, I'm a righty, my right wrist and his left wrist, I hurt at the same time because I was feeling it. So a mom has a very strong healing agreement, a parent, with the child. And it's often very hard to distinguish. And you can tell yourself, hey, this is not me, this is them. I'm feeling their energy. That is 99% of the awareness. And then the 1% of change is to remember it. Remember to be aware. As soon as you say, oh, that's not mine, that's theirs, you'll notice that the pain goes away, the discomfort goes away. Whenever something comes in to your body that feels really fast and really strong, like a nausea or a pain or some headache, always, as a healer, just go, oops, who's in my space? Who am I healing? Who's thinking about me? Who did I just leave a conversation with? And then as soon as you recognize that, become aware, and you find your amusement, you'll separate from it, and now it won't bother you anymore. You'll find that it's quite amazing how that happens. Um, but really, becoming an advanced healer or a clairvoyant healer is really just to start to be aware of how energy works, finding your amusement when you get sucked in and you forget, because we will constantly forget, but come back, and through clairvoyant tools, you learn how to find your space. And what I like to do, if somebody particularly is really in my space where I'm just feeling anxiety and I'm feeling bad, and I know, and I can't solve it, then I know it's not my energy, it's not my problem if I don't have the solution. Everybody who creates a problem also has a solution attached. So we often will take all the problems of the people around us. Remember, we're attracting people that need our help, like a flame and a moth, or the porch light and all the moths coming to you. Everybody's looking for help from your light. And so you have to hold your light and find your amusement, separate from that and say, oh, there's no solution. It's in my stomach. Most of the time we try to solve things in our solar plexus. And we get that agita, that bad feeling. And you just take a deep breath, and you just bring yourself up to your heart and your forehead, and you imagine a clear rose out in front of you. Just the rose is clear like a receptacle. And then you can just imagine that person, or just the feeling, because you might not know where it's coming from. It could come from the news, or your neighbor, or the person in the grocery store. You don't know who you picked up. So you're just going to let that feeling turn into a color. We work with colors. Go into the clear rose out in front of you, and just watch the rose fill up. And just know you're releasing all of that color that feels bad into the rose. It's somebody else's energy. It's foreign energy. And then you imagine you can explode it, blow it up. Just blow it up like a firework, just releasing that person. And you can, that energy, and you can do that over and over again until, what we say, you find your space. Great. And just seeing questions. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm on for a few more minutes. I wanted to address that question, why do I take on other people's energy? And that's a question from a true healer, because when you're a healer, like I said, you're an empath, so you're matching other people's energy, or clairsentient, we call it. It's in the second chakra. Or you're a medium, probably, and or. Most really great healers are also mediums. And a medium isn't just about speaking with deceased loved ones. A medium is really about understanding your ability as a spirit to leave your body and then to channel other spirits through. And most of the mediumship work we do is with our other people in bodies. They can be at a distance, they can be in the room with us, but we are exchanging energy and sharing bodies with people. So it's very good to recognize that first, and then you learn to ground, you learn to find the edge of your aura and your bubble and find your space. And then you learn about different tools like crystals and essential oils, even plants, friends that can see like you do. So you have a community where you can talk about it and not get lost. Healers tend to get lost and retreat and withdraw. When I taught young children, I would see, and I, as a young child, tend to be very shy, and it's hard because you're overwhelmed by everybody else's energy. Being a healer is a natural propensity to just take on other people's pain and want to help them. And so it's important to move from being an empath up to being a compassionate healer. So that's in the heart. And the heart chakra gives you protection. The heart chakra lets you stay in a place where you can access your vision, Okay, so when you're compassionate, remember the words are I see, I understand, how may I serve? And that last part is the prayer that you're sending up, how may I serve this person? And as a trained clairvoyant, you also have clairaudience, and you can hear perhaps the guardian angel, the angels around that person, uh, with a message, something that is going to match the level of light that you are. That's what they're seeking in you. Person that comes to you with complaints and pain and upset are not asking for you just to commiserate, because that doesn't help. It doesn't help. They're still going to be upset even though if they're not lonely now. And then you walk away feeling bad. So I would say, if, as a healer, the majority of the feelings you have in your body are not yours. They're other people's feelings, which then also have thoughts and sayings. They're not even yours, because if you're a healer now as an adult, you were a healer as a child, and you absorbed your family's thoughts and beliefs and pains. And remember, you came into this lifetime with a promise and agreement, I'll be a healer for everyone, and so I can earn my love that way. So by coming up here to a compassionate place, you start to love yourself, you start to be aware of who you are, and you start to be a very powerful communicator and healer. So instead of saying, I'm feeling your sadness and getting it and sensing and picking it up, oops, I'm noticing that you have sadness, and I'm also hearing that something, some light is coming your way, or this pattern is going to break soon. You are able to give some powerful messages and visions to somebody. Um, and like I said, if somebody's in a lot of distress, it's okay to be sympathetic, but have a time limit on it. I always think of the sand timer. Turn it over and be sympathetic, and then specifically step back and then be the healer, where you get your power back, and that person actually can work on their own problem. You don't want to take it for them. Let them hold on to it, and you guide them to their own solution through your compassionate and clairvoyant nature. Um, I'd love to have you, if you're interested in these topics, I'd love to have you join my workshops on Tuesday nights online or in Port Washington, New York, or even my clairvoyant certification programs. And I'll add some links down below, but toriquisling.com, I have introductory, beginner, and advanced certification programs in healing, clairvoyance, healing, and mediumship. And you'll find that once you understand how things work and you start to get some tools, like thinking of the rose, letting the color go of that bad feeling and blowing it up, you begin to be happier and really do some work in the world that feels fulfilling. And these clairvoyant tools will enhance any other healing modality that you're already using and have trained or studied for. It enhances all of it. I like to say that clairvoyance is the light on your forehead that, like in a cave, that you turn on and you look down in your tool bag and you see all the different things that you would like to use for the person in front of you. So you may turn on your light, look in your tool bag and say, I'm going to use some Reiki here, maybe a little massage. I've met some amazing healers. They have so many different modalities just at their fingertips, but they just don't know when to use them, where to use them. They just get overwhelmed with the people that have drawn to their light. And like I said, a healer that isn't trained or lost or just doesn't have some communication, like a reading, or other people to see with them, other healers, will tend to match the people around them so much that they think the problems are their problems. And you can see it in the body, and just a lack of health and vibrancy in the healer. And so I like to say that my classes and training programs support healers, spiritual seekers, of course, and most spiritual seekers are also healers. And if you're curious about these topics, that means you have a propensity for it and that you can learn. I teach everybody to read. I haven't found anyone that's taken my class or worked with me that has not been able to see. We all can see, and we can all heal in this new way. And I like to say we're in the year 2020, so it's the clear vision year, and it's the year of clairvoyance. So I'd love to have you contact me through my website, through this site, and find out more about what it's about. Wonderful. So I love to see all the people that have said hello. Wonderful. And see if there's anything else I'd like to say. Um, just a note about, again, having a strong healing agreement with another person, your child, your mother, uh, a new boyfriend, a husband, wife. Um, these healing agreements can be adjusted, meaning that you can change the agreement so that you don't have to always give away your energy to that person. In fact, you'll both be stronger, again, if you rewrite the agreement together saying, I'm a support and witness to your growth. Now, of course, if you have a young child, it's different. But as they grow and become more people, and as teenagers, then you can start to shift to just supporting and witnessing somebody's growth, giving them space, and also being in control of your own healing abilities, which, like I said, is that empathic ability to match energy, clairsentient ability, and the mediumship ability to kind of jump into someone's space. And teenagers will be irritable with you because they feel you in their space and they say, get out. When you're feeling irritable, it's because you've let a lot of people in. You're letting them in. They're not coming in. You're letting them in. So you learn how to protect yourself. And the good news is that you are in charge of your own energy. And the other good news is that you don't have control over anyone else's energy. And so we kind of want to put everybody in their own space and learn about space, learn about healing and energy. Once you become wise and understand all this, it's not so mysterious. You can put it to work for you and enjoy being the healer that you are. All right, so, well, thank you for tuning in today with me for Facebook Live at 12 o'clock on Fridays and Psychic Techniques for Healers. And you can always reach me for a reading through my website and meet with me more. Tuesday nights, I have workshops every Tuesday night at 7, all different topics, but like I say, the topics I set so we have a focus together and we can be curious together, but it's really about community and an elevated conversation together, and I make them different every time. So I never do the same thing in every workshop. I'm not teaching from a script or something. I also then have these certification programs that meet on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So I look forward to hearing from more of you about your questions on the next Facebook Live on Friday. I also have a Facebook Live on my site, Tori Quisling, on Tuesdays. So I can just meet people and get some lessons out and assist all of you out there. So thank you very much and have a great Friday and a great weekend. Happy day.